I know all the Newburyport kids are going to raise their hand. But, so who are my judges? Raise up your little boards or pieces of paper. All right, so the judges have the fun job. So they're going to be the ones scoring the performers. And if they give a score that you guys like, you can cheer. And if you don't, then you can boo them. And booing them is really fun because it makes them really hate the decision that they just made. So that's good. I want to see you boo them. All right. So we're gonna begin. I'll do one poem so like everyone can shake off the nervousness a little bit. All right. We're getting filmed tonight, so just ignore the camera. Just pretend it's not there. Yeah. If you really want to. They did last time, so.
It was an accident. I happened to heart.
But all right. So here's a little warm up for you guys before we get underway. All right. So this one's called "Oh Red, White, and Blue." Oh red, white, and blue, how for so long you stay true. Been with us through thick and thin, tucked us in at night with your stripe, kept us warm with your stars. Always been there for us, always stayed true. And battles when colors would run, yours wouldn't. On D-Day when the beaches turned red, you stuck with us and were flown when we won as the righteous prevailed. Oh red, white, and blue, your colors have always stayed true. Never ran or faded, with every engagement we catered to. During tragic moments you brought about light and were the symbol of hope. 9/11 struck and we'll never forget it. And though the flag was tattered and beaten, but still intact, colors staying true, oh red, white, and blue. But things have recently happened, things been re-examined, and in the past too, that have me starting to see that your colors are fading. In 1963, JFK was shot. So many things wrong with the events surrounding the murder, and your colors are starting to fade. 3 shots in 6 seconds? Oh red, white, and blue, what is happening to you? Going to countries for reasons never really explained, but staying out of countries that need our aid, your colors are starting to run, oh red, white, and blue. 9/11 was a tragedy, and that's a fact that no one can deny. But now so much doubt surrounds the attack. Your colors are stained with the blood of innocent Americans. Building 7, no jets to intercept, oh red, white, and blue. I really hope that it's not true. But we're losing freedom, and it's hard to say what you think or be yourself. Government lies fueled by big business, oil companies taking our arms at a pump. Oh red, white, and blue, the founding fathers would be so disappointed in you. Your colors have run, faded, and stained, with images and thoughts so many Americans can't get off their brains. Fact or fiction, time will tell. All I know is, oh red, white, and blue, the truths you once held self-evident, you turned your back on. Used to be a sign of hope, a sign of freedom. Now I'm not even sure I know what you stand for. Oh red, white, and blue, you used to be a friend. Sadly though, you'll never be the same again. Yeah, you can score me. Yep. Nice. One heart. That means I win. That means I win. Time to go home, people. All right. So, do you want to go first? Is all you people here? Okay. So Tim is going to go first. That's a great applause, people. It's good. Keep it up. Like that.
I'm Tim. Today is that day that you never want to forget. Birds sing, the sky is blue. There's a white cloud floating lazily across the sky, maybe even 2. The blooming lilacs seduce the nostrils of a small boy, of a old man on a stroll through the park, of a little boy running excitedly from a little girl, of a slightly less little boy running nervously after a slightly less little girl, of the granddaughter out on her first bike ride. It's the kind of day that makes you happy to be on this wonderful planet alive. A mother cries. Today is that day that you never want to remember. The snow has turned brown and gray on the sides of the road, and the cold has reduced your bones to the point where they are fragile as your 43-year-old single cousin's heart. On Valentine's Day, the son has decided to use vacation as the doctor used up the last flu vaccination, leaving the grandfather alone in the waiting room, thinking back sadly to the days where he could walk through fire and come out chilling on the other end. The game-winning three-pointer falls short of the rim, and the big promotion goes to that jerk in the next cubicle. It's the kind of day where not follows every I do, and I used to, precedes every love you. A mother cries. Today is that day that was yesterday, and that day that will be tomorrow, that day that you forget before it even happens, that day that you know better than the sheets on your bed. A mother cries. Today, the smiling recruiter paints a picture of glory and prestige onto the mind of a young man who just wants to make his impact on the world. A mother cries. Today, a country is invaded for the acts of a small group of individuals. Guns and bombs ruin families, leaving heartbreaking residuals of children, men, and women at the wrong place at the wrong time, killed for sharing skin with one man who committed a crime. A mother cries. Today, in the name of democracy and peace, a mother can't understand, but she tries. Today, in the name of democracy and peace, a president lies. Today, in the name of democracy and peace, hell chooses to rise. Today, in the name of democracy and peace, a young boy dies. Today, in the name of democracy and peace, another mother cries.
All right, judges, let me see your boards.
I'm not done yet.
Well, write faster, you cripple. All right, we have a 7.8, an 8, a 7.5, a 9, and a 9.
There you go.
All right, so for those, because I forgot to say this in the beginning, but for those who have been here before, have been to a slam, 5 judges, the highest and lowest gets crossed out, and you add them up, and that's your score. So that's how that works. And there wasn't a lot of applauding or booing or cheering. You guys are quiet. You guys sleeping?
Gotta warm them up.
I can turn the heat on a little bit more if you want. All right, so the next person up is going to be Cody.
Cody!
Hey, Cody!
I'm actually not even sure which one I should do yet. How many guys in the audience?
Wait, yeah.
One for the ladies.
Who likes rap here?
Yeah.
I'll either be a nobody or an icon. You decide. Look into my eyes, wearing camouflage like it's do or die. For what it's worth, I was suicide as soon as I reduced my pride. Done nothing but pursuing trial, doing my best to make this music mine. Give me military mind, send my platoon to ride with enough demontation to stab the ground, shoot the sky. Move aside, do as I tell you before you lose your life. Never would have stepped out the womb if I knew of my life full of contemplated suicides. Look up to the blue skies, curse to God like it speaks to you and I. Don't matter what you define, truth defies, still all black and blue and I. Cause you lied to me, anxiety building inside of me. I try to reach God, but you know he won't reply to me. So I try to reach Satan through all of this. Learn to play possum just to avoid starting fist fights with artists who want us blessed. Self-arguments of artists. While the fame goes to harmless narcissists and got me longing for a home like foster kids. Stop killing over religion, which may and may not exist. Walk up to a cancer baby, ask him if God exists.
Alright, let's see them. We got 7.9. You can make them feel worse than that, it's fine. They don't know. That's better. Alright, so the next one.
Oh God, everybody's getting 9s and 10s now.
Alright, so the next one going up is Blake.
So forgive me for any mistakes. I'm recovering from strep throat. I actually wrote this while in my 36-hour confinement to a bed. So I don't know if that's going to reflect it or anything. It's called autobiography. There are only minutes to midnight on the last year of my life. I'm desperately trying to finish my autobiography and find a copy I like, but I find it so hard to be happy driving an automatic down the highway. Shouldn't it be a manual biography, or am I not in control? The gears change and it moves faster than I think. It feels like noon was just a few hours ago, now it's 11:57. I remember when I was 11 and first learned how to ride a bike. I had a better view of the world at that point because I could control the speed I pedal, and I can stop. All I need is balance. My training wheels came off and it changed from 2 wheels to 4, and I don't have to balance anymore, only steer and keep my eyes forward. The rear view mirrors in my vehicle show that objects are farther than they appear, and now I fear the driver behind me has had maybe 1 too many beers. I control nothing, but I know the destination. I'll be crashing soon. I can't tell if I'm still moving or just parked and waiting for the world to hit me. The minute has almost ended, and I think about my bio, the anatomy of society. I've always searched for ways to study fellow organisms. I'm surprised to find that jail cells are still alive. The genes on my legs are like the ones in my head. If I got a bad pair, I could have ended up behind bars with the men we judge for their corruption. But was it their choice to be a passenger in that automatic? I realize now at 11:58 that we can't graph our lives. We will all make mistakes. We can attempt to make statistics about the human condition. Our hearts keep a rhythm, but that doesn't make our lives consistent. In math, we have a phrase for when no 2 points match. It's called a simple path. We don't share any points, but I would never refer to life as simple. Maybe it's pathological because we're all somehow mentally bruised. We've been used by others and by ourselves. We've all felt that wall on our back. We will forever fail to make a perfect graph. At 11:59, I find myself asking why, the only unaddressed piece of my autobiography. Why do we strive for the lives that we do? Why do we pick up passengers and drop them off like they mean nothing? Why do we cut each other off and study each other's thoughts and graph each other's plots? Doesn't it ever stop? I jot these final words down as the clock ticks 12. I reflect back to when I first started living. It's 12:01 again. I fall asleep thinking, only 364 more pages till the ending.
Alright, let's see your boards.
Not a word.
Alright, we have an 8.1,
Boo.
Wow.
8.9,
Word. They're not talking.
9.2, 9.3, and 10. Still waiting? Sarah.
I said, no, I
Sarah.
said.
So next up, Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I got a cold last night, so.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, I'm just ready to know my voice. I'm 22, I'm not allowed. I built you up to the freshly turned autumn trees, with leaves to ride the cold breeze, and bark as ancient and sturdy as the foundation of an 80-year marriage. You were as delicate as the changing seasons, new age prints that flew into my spinal cord, but as the seas grew into raging storms in both of our imaginations, you decided to row away in the only lifeboat, using my sanity as your paddle. Left stranded, I sat in the rain for days and let the crows of fate chew away at my open chest. Vulturous pieces of earth gnawed at my entrails and made jewelry to wear to fancy dinner parties for the rich. I let my body get eaten away completely until all that was left was a single eye. A brown eye with marks and burrs and gougings my childhood gave me, left me. I built off of this one eye and created a monster. Now I feed on crows and vultures, pieces of earth, with one eye that only sees you.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see the boards. We have an 8,
Ah!
8.5, and 8.7, a 7.7, and 8.
6.7. Who wrote it?
It was him. Good luck with that.
All right, next up, Dylan.
Hello there. Yeah, I have mono, I might as well play.
So just come to the rest of us all. Already had it.
I stepped outside the mirror as you slept, and I tried to decide whether to hide or get nearer. To color over the lies, or maybe measure the fear, or try to act surprised when I walk in to find your tears tore out from the inside like I'm a drought, but she'll never dry. And under piles of doubt with broken smiles and pride, she's silently outspoken, and maybe that's why every single night, even if I don't try, I can still hear her. So when I'm outside, I shout my doubts high. It's like beside the trees I can't hide. But gravity gradually grabs me, and an empty space pulls me in, as reality systematically traps me, as soon as I realize how cold that has been. So, inspire me anxiety, because I can finally see a variety of many things from society, like how I can be anything if I try to be. And if I spread my wings, I bet I could fly to sea, because I've read plenty of things that inspire me. And if I could read the sky to sleep, then I would tell it everything that I have written and hidden inside the notes I keep. I let it release through this analogetic speech, trying to teach with a poetic entreat from the sound through my teeth, because from the ground I can reach the sky, but only if I try and stop denying the lying that's hiding the anxiety that lies inside of me. I'm fine, but only because I learned to run. And then suddenly the flood in me miraculously dried, as if the answer key that happened to be in the back of the book lied. Like reality, and all actuality, could collapse into a masterpiece.
Better be a good one, Bob. You got it. All right, yeah, now.
We have an 8.5, an 8, a 9.7,
Yeah.
7.5.
Go back.
We're like brothers.
All right, so the next person that's gonna go is Scott.
Hello.
So I was told to bring 2 poems. So is that alright?
Yeah, we have another round after this, so pick
Oh,
whichever
okay.
you want to do first.
This is called The Silhouettes of My Tourette's. This involuntary twitch, a discharge of emotion and exertion. I can't walk down the street without their stares, their glances, their whispers. Looks like someone forgot their medicine this morning. Strangers saying hushed tones. Strangers who don't know me, who don't take the time to know me. This internal exclusion, this external protrusion. It's a social outcast, like an immediate target on my back. It's a heavy, lead, dense fear welling up in my chest. I can't bear the weight, tensing up, trying my best not to scream. I can't rest. Because if I relax and give in to that heavy, lead, dense fear welling up in my chest, I'll shatter this small, isolated nest I've built for myself. A nest in which I stow away all my insecurities like a box on a shelf. A nest in which I feel safe from the world. My disease, it's like a crowd laughing at my pain. Even if their judging stares are all in my head, it's a shame. The nonsense I'm led through, the people I blame. Every morning and night I swallow my capsulated, procrastinated excuse. Zoloft, Topamax, too many over the years to name. I don't even need water to swallow. I'm a distinguished pill popper. But that's not a feat, that's not an achievement, that's just day-by-day bereavement. This is the hand I was dealt, the cross I must bear. I realize it was purely chance, but that just isn't fair. I'm obligated to battle with my entity, my eternal flame, my inner rival. A great man once said, "We shall draw from the heart of suffering itself the means of inspiration and survival." So I take from these words strength and wisdom, because when I'm on that street, when those heads turn to judge, I'm able to turn and smile in a way that they cannot fathom. So whatever you think, whatever you say, I will stand strong. I cannot let this disease obstruct my view, my day. I will stand strong. I won't let this monster that I contain sand down the bars of its cage. I will stand strong. I won't let this monster that I contain sand down the bars of his cage. And I will not let this God-forsaken, scythe-wielding abomination convince me that I am the mastodon. No. In fact, I will stand strong.
Alright, let's see them. We have an 8.8, an 8.7, a 9.5, an 8.9, and a 7.2.
There's bars right there. Give that
Alright. So the next person up is, I think that says Gustav.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I spent all day trying to memorize this, but I'm still gonna read it on my phone because I'm scared. You guys scare me? Alright. If a bad man offered you holy water, would you take it? If you said yes, then you understand the basics. You see, our generation generates races, and to make it, you've got to raise the paces. Start changing your grades from betas to aces. And while some send out for higher placement, most end up high and wasted, bittered by the nation's mass examinations. When it comes to my spot on the spectrum, I fall between the cracks like dust in your attic. That's an ironic simile coming from an asthmatic with a chronic habit, but anyways, when one side sees holy water, they reject it, while the other accepts it, keeping their dealer protected. You see, my philosophy differs because I don't trust the bad man. Rather, I adjust to the bad man and muster the courage to rob him of every blessed bottle he holds, because I recognize that saint or sinner, holy water is holy water. And last time I checked, it wasn't falling out of the sky.
It's the one.
I like calling you
I like how you like just wedged with your little criminal on Alright, let's see them. Alright, so we have an 8.7, a 9, a 9.3, a 10. Yeah! 8.9. Alright, so last person in round one is Jordy. So I'm Jordy, and this poem is titled Street Cred. So you might think that I'm just a short white kid from the suburbs with matching tan lines in the sunburn who's just reiterating the same shit that everyone's heard. Merely an emotionless poet who throws out the same pen he wrote with because his focus is bogus and vision is hopeless with flow that is flowless, and damn, some days I wish I was homeless, so this burden of comfort could be lifted off of my shoulders. Please take away my financial security and replace it with a dose of lyrical purity. Then I might be taken seriously. But it's true. The reason my moral backbone is made out of Play-Doh is because my hardest task has been beating the third level of Halo, or asking a girl to prom and hearing her say no. Rachel Reagan. But I'm not going to wait for time to dictate
dictate my fate. If they don't like my style, I'll start over with a clean slate. They'll say, good try, maybe next time, and I'll say it's a date. Because even though I might not have anything to complain about, I'm still going to shout till my voice is heard, and there is no doubt that this little white kid from the suburbs does not have an ounce of fear to pronounce. So for all you writers looking for street cred, close your mouths, because you've just been fed.
That's all we're
Alright, let's see him. Alright, we have an 8.9, a 9.1, a 9.5, and 2 10. Okay, so now you're gonna be going out next, but before you go back up again, because we just saw you. If anyone has one poem they want to perform,
Well, Sandy.
Chelsea, we read it.
you can read it now before we go on to round 2. Chelsea.
Chelsea!
Oh, you're on another one?
I'll punch you. You don't intimidate me. I try.
Which one are you?
Album first.
You went first, 10. Alright. That's alright. Alright, anyone else have another poem that they want to perform? Other than Chelsea?
Everyone listening to Chelsea.
Anyone?
No, I think that's
Chelsea's last chance. Come on.
Really bad.
That's alright. We won't boo you.
That's all right.
We'll boo the judges.
We all care.
I'm gonna throw
I
you
just heard
Come on.
her whisper yes.
I heard her yes too. And I'm all the way up here.
We all heard yes.
Come on, you don't have mono, or you didn't get sick last night, and you didn't just get over strep throat.
Woo! Yeah, Chelsea! Like this. Okay, I've never read this before, so we'll see how it goes. I write poetry with my mind, not my pen. Words form in my head and stream out my mouth, connecting with the rhythm as if it mimicked the sweet music notes in a lullaby I may have heard as a child. Hearing the words aloud, I ameliorate my thoughts more clearly. They cannot connect in such a way, reflecting from my mind onto the paper, but once spoken, I quickly grasp hold of my pen and proceed in the writing process.
That wasn't that hard. Okay, so the next person back into the slam portion is going to be Gustav again. So you're going back up.
It's kind of funny how my raps decline when I start having an attractive time. And by that I mean I'm on relaxing mind, less inclined to seeing black relaxing rhymes, yo. But that kind of remorse explores my passion, emotional investment synonymous with crashing, flashing the action, cashing through his rations, drink half a glass of absinthe out the branches of a cactus. Now what's supposed to go in my book? Inking love songs or hit a floorboard sinking ship I was on? Nah, I just gotta work hard and at least spit. Despite easy times, these rhymes is decent. Said not red bandit, mangling prose, caught red-handed when I'm strangling flows, slaying the dro cranium, invaded with ghosts, young face and a weathered soul, 17 years but I'm feeling hella old, 18 beers hanging on your head and shoulder, I'm spending gold, still no records sold. Word, an abstract crook with a passbook, riddling ass hook and a girl counting laps took. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, I feel I don't use it anyway. Alright, so let's do the boards, judges. We have a 7.9 and 8.3, a 7.5, 7.7, and an 8.6. Scott, you're up next.
All right.
Yay!
Your shirt is
Excellent. Alright, I'm back. This poem is called I'm Sick of You. I'm sick of the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you condescend on the general public with your only I can do attitude. Nicolas Cage, I'm sick of you. Your movies, they tear into my heart like a scalpel. Your vile voice shatters in my ears like shrapnel. Nicolas Cage, just stop playing monotone characters. Make way for better actors. You're arrogant, you're condescending. In your mind, you're the pinnacle of success. In my mind, I'm annoyed by your refusal to regress. You're an egocentric, overruling, materialistic, tone-deaf, monopolistic, hypercritical, unrealistic, ultra-statistical, narcissistic abomination that corrupts our nation for salvation. Your mind hot button issue, the throbbing vein in my scalp, the pooling blood in my fist. Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage, I wish you didn't exist.
So I guess from that we know who his favorite actor is. Alright, so let's do the boys, judges. We have 100. There's a 10. There's a 9. There's a 10, a 10, and an 8.9.
Wow. Just make it a 9.
Alright, so now we're on a roll. The next one back up is going to be Dylan.
I've never tried to do this in front of people, so you guys are the first.
Ooh.
It's called The Darker It Gets. The glass shattered. The room grew faint. She said, the past only matters as much as the pitter-patter of splatter paint. Her life was an art project. She just never had the right tools. Her heart hangs from the height of crooked logic, realizing that times are changing like lies to promises and broken rules. She sat drowning in puddles and pools of trouble so cruel, but what makes it astounding is that under that rubble was a jewel. I told her to move aside all the hurt, forget all the lies and I told her to move aside all the dirt, forget all the lies and the hurt, the way time flies and fates dispersed. Don't close your eyes or wait for the hearse. Make the most of the surprise, just like how starry skies are unrehearsed. Because if you don't learn to defy, then it can only get worse. So look to the bright side, keep your head held high, drink the rain to quench your thirst. Because things won't change until you do something first.
A damn good roll right now, I must say. Alright, so let's do the boards. We have an 8.7. That's not a, there's a 7. That's a 9. That's an 8. That's an 8. And that's 9.3. Alright, so next person up is going to be Blake.
I think I performed this for the first time in the last poetry suit, so anyone here has already heard it. It's called Adam and Ever. We all know the story of Adam and Eve, the forbidden fruit, the love, and the greed, the downfall of humans first seen with a tree, the first of many mistakes of a long history. We mean to believe that we dream of a world we conceive all we need, where no one will bleed. We are pleased with our thoughts, we're not scared to be fought. Where you see me for me, not the things that I've found or the things that I've lost. The things that I've taken are the ones that I want. You can lie, you can steal, you can hide when you feel like you are alone in this world when the teeth meets the bone and the tree is cut from your home and your apples are picked, your neighbor is hit, your wife is coveted or your land is inflamed. You can stand straight and watch your place burn without hurting a thing. Adam and Eve, the queen and the king of pain. The first to show that no one is perfect. It's our flaws that make us, our falls that break us. It's not about catching yourself on the way down, but about getting back up. Adam and Eve, or Adam and Ever, struck from the land they had known all their life, for just one chance to taste and not waste away without chasing the things they can't take to the grave. It's love and fate, blood and hate, what humans were made to do, make many mistakes. But God put randomness in snowflakes and brains, and to grow fruit to steal, it must first rain.
Alright, let's see them. Alright, we have an 8.5, an 8.9, a 10, 9.3, and an 8. You can clap loud on that, it's okay. Alright, so the next person that's going to be going up is going to be Cody.
I'll never cry, and not cry for you. Everything I see, my eyes see you. I'm writing you a song, and I got a tattoo, so at least you'll live, as long as I do. Strongest man alive, guess you had to die too. Don't know why, it's brought me closer to you, like when I first walked, and I walked to you. Now I'd run the ground, and I'd jump the blue to get back to you. Like when we were both young, and our lives would never end. When I was born, the first one to hold me out of bed. You'd hold me in your arms, now I'm holding you in mine. They say a real man wouldn't cry, but you cried too, that's how I know it's a lie. If you'd seen your family, and part of them died. If you could see through me, and a part of you was inside. That's why I wouldn't let them see me with a tear in my eye. Just in the body ever die, still alive in the sky. I'll never know why, so I won't bother to ask. It's an impossible task to find an answer I'll accept. I just keep hearing your voice, and I saw you while I slept. Still praying and waiting for you to walk through the door. And it only gets harder, like the fight became a war. Can't bring myself to say that you're gone for sure. Just hours ago you were alive and breathing. Never saw myself here, crying and grieving. So much pain, but I'm too numb to feel it. I'm writing this in disbelief as another tear falls on the pad. What do you become when you lose all that you had? But it got your ink in my arm and your heart in my chest. We're all getting stronger, we learn from the best. I'm gonna take what you taught me and pass it on to the next. I guess that's life. You live and you die, so go on and rest. We've all been blessed to have you in our lives. Taught me how to smile when I should be crying. Taught me how to survive when I should have died. And what makes it even worse, the last time I saw you now, I see it in a blur. I never felt heavier words. Never wondered if it could get any worse. Never so unsatisfied with a verse. You just can't possibly express it through words. Never so confused about what a man deserves. How God could take a man who just left church not an hour before. If there was ever a man who don't deserve to live anymore, what's a man committing murder still breathing for?
Alright, judges, do your thing. Wait, do you need a chair back there?
I'm good, thanks.
Sure. You realize there's a stack of them right next to you.
I'm gonna wander.
Alright. Alright, let's see him.
I'm just. Hey, Sage's cheating.
Well, 3 people are ready, so we're ready. Come on, let's go.
I have a distraction in front of me.
Yeah, tell me about it. 8.8, 9, 9.5, and a 10 and a 10. Alright, so, Sam. Let's see the first one.
between him and his dead wife. It's 2 a.m. and he waits to greet the sun, knowing the warmth will help the cold within. Noontime creeps upon him, and a bony hand leaves a hollow knock upon his wooden door. Broken images of lost memories dance in the foyer. They disappear as he runs his hand along the wooden frame. He answers the door to an old familiar face. An empathetic smile looks onto his pale blue eyes and remembers the old familiar times they shared. At least now that you're alone, I get to come back and keep you company. The words slip from those old familiar lips. Welcome back, Sorrow. It's been a while. And he opened his arms to embrace his old familiar friend.
Alright, let's see him. See him, guys. We have up here 8.1 and 8.2, 9, a 7.7, and a 9. Alright, so does anyone have another couple they just want to read for giggles? Anybody? Anybody? No?
Here's someone down Becca.
I heard you back.
Yeah, we heard Becca.
I heard
Chelsea Whaley, that's Becca. Yeah, that on.
I've heard Jess four times, so there's Jess.
I heard Jess too. Oh, good. You got to change it.
So,
Like, watch it.
go, okay.
I'll join you next time.
Cody.
You're awesome.
Fine, works for him.
We all know that Joe has like 2 bucks for
Never tied.
Hey, shut up, I want to hear this.
Never tied tight enough. I tied a string around her finger, so she'd never forget my name. Inside her mind as the thought lingers, but she's under my skin as she trawls through my veins. And I'm spinning the wind until I unspin my mind waves, or find the time to save the days, or reread the page of how she gave a gaze, dressed in the stains of yesterday's pains. And though I know my wishes are stitches, if I could switch it around, I'd make sure she never misses the deepest colors or the richest sounds. And if I could borrow tomorrow, I would fill her pockets with time. I would put a hole in all the sorrow until we're no longer hollow inside.
Alright. Anyone else want to come up here and read? See,
Chelsea got another one here.
practice a little more. Next month, what kind of poetry might. So, anyone? They secretly want it, they're just afraid. I feel like I just have to be like, call on someone and make them do it. Which we kind okay, so I have who's first, second, and third. So, in third place, we have Blake. In second, we have Scott. And last but not least, in fourth. No, I'm just kidding. And last but not least, in first is Cody. Okay, so after that, slam's over. It's been fun. For everyone that performed, I bought you guys all notebooks.
Yeah!
So you guys all get notebooks. So you